Divine Creator, God, Goddess Absolute, we come before the sacredness of your being on this lunar eclipse full moon day in the sign of Pisces, gathering in unison all elevated consciousness, every elder version of who we are in the multiverse, calling you forth, elder versions of ourselves, to converge with us in this realm of three-dimensional, to quicken the elevation of this three-dimensional paradigm into fifth-dimensional embrace, ascension, and beyond. By virtue of the grace of God and Goddess within us, we milk the miracle out of this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, recognizing that by virtue of the grace of God bestowed unto each of us, we are worthy of aligning with the most exalted blessings associated with this now moment, this now day, this now lunar eclipse full moon. Gratitude to you, beloveds, who are waving at me. I am waving back at you. When the moon is full in Pisces, and especially with a lunar eclipse, the sensitivity at the emotional body level is so strong. So it's a time where we may find ourselves being very empathic, feeling the energies of others as if they are our own, feeling the joys and pains and sorrows of others. One of the blessings of this empathic frequency is that if we up-level our deliberate intention and choose to give our observation to all of the elevated frequencies, give our observation to every elevated being doing amazing work in this world, making amazing contributions to life and the expansion of life. Maybe they're very powerful creators. And we could say, with deliberate intention, I choose to be empathically activated by these elevated vibrations, the elevated vibrations of this being and that being. And isn't it wonderful that I am so empowered through this aspect of myself, that I've achieved so much through that aspect of myself? And then the soul jumpstart is initiated. This is how we jumpstart ourselves individually, by the collective elevated vibrations that we see. Because no matter what we see in the so-called outwardness of life, what we're seeing is that which is generated from the inner sanctum of our own being. Even as you engage with me and receive this message, here I am on the screen of your life. But I exist first and foremost as a cellular counterpart in the inner sanctum of your being, because everything in the universe, in the multiverse, lives inside of you, lives inside of me. So when we engage with the outwardness of life, engaging with people or whatever, they are on the screen of our lives so that we would have an opportunity to have an objective interchange with them. And yet they live subjectively in the inner sanctum of our being. Every outward engagement that we interact with lives within, projected from within, just as in going to see a movie. The screen is the means by which we can engage objectively with the movie. And yet the movie is first and foremost inside of the projector, projected onto the screen, giving us an objective experience of that which originates subjectively inside. The energy of Pisces also is related to the omnipresence, that which is evenly present everywhere, omnipresent, eternal expansion. That's the elevated divine resonance of the Piscean frequency. And we want to engage with that resonance of connection. The highest frequency of Pisces gives us the opportunity to feel at one with our inner God-Goddesshood. In order to truly own the inner God-Goddesshood, we have to embrace our oneness with every being in all existence. That every being is an extension of our own self. One of the shadows of Pisces is sacrifice. So during this lunar eclipse experience, you may have to look at what are the ways in which we have been sacrificing, and what are the ways in which we are continually drawing people to us that have a severe case of the needy greedies. They need so much from us. And when we're prone to sacrifice, then we sacrifice unto them. When we sacrifice, we are out of integrity with ourselves, because sacrifice is always win-lose. We sacrifice, they win, we lose. And so the up-leveled momentum of this vibration of Pisces is to let our sacrifice morph into compassion. To feel compassion for ourselves, compassion for all others. Compassion is always win-win. When you are compassionate, you win and everyone else wins as well, that you are being compassionate toward. Compassion is a level of wisdom that will never let us hurt ourselves while giving to another. Compassion shows us how to give equally unto ourselves while simultaneously giving to all others. So I'm going to bring in the frequency of the didgeridoo in a moment. And when I play the didgeridoo, my intention is that I am channeling the frequency of the all-dimensional ascended self that we all are. Those elevated versions of ourselves in the multiverse in the realms of ascension that has already conquered and achieved and been victorious in everything that we will conquer, achieve, and be victorious in this three-dimensional experience. And by virtue of the fact that all realities are simultaneous, we are able to turn the dial of our observation to the channel of our all-dimensional ascended self. So let me pause the music here and get my didgeridoo. And I'd like for you to be open and receptive to the all-dimensional ascended resonance of your being. Thank you, Divine Creator, for the sacredness of this moment, for our divine remembering who and what we truly are, coming home to the absoluteness of our being a source of blessing and upliftment to all of our brothers and sisters, championing the alignment of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, bringing the reactivation of that sacred harmony. I offer these tones to further quicken the essence of our all-dimensional ascended self and to quicken the elevation of sacred connection in the divine feminine and the divine masculine, inside of you, inside of me, inside of the whole of the multiverse.
We say unto you, lunar eclipse, full moon in Pisces, we recognize you as an extension of our own self. We call forth that which is most sacred and most benevolent within your being, that wisdom that you carry that facilitates us in understanding the power of the one in the all and the all in the one, of the drop within the ocean and the ocean within the drop. And so by virtue of your omnipresent frequency, we honor that we are a drop in the ocean of Godhood, and the ocean of Godhood lives in the inner sanctum of the drop that we are in our individual being. I say to you, beloveds, I see that great something that you are. I thank you for morphing into the most benevolent version of yourself that you could possibly become three-dimensionally, and yet that you already are all-dimensionally. I champion your expansion. I champion my expansion. I receive all of my all-dimensional champions. We receive our all-dimensional champions. But we are championed by every being in the whole of existence. Even when we have so-called three-dimensional enemies, when we look all-dimensionally, there are so many more sectors of reality where even those who so-called hate us are our most wonderful champions in the all-dimensionality of life. Because love is a frequency that is co-eternal with God. And we are championed by love, and with that flow of love from all of those who have went before us, we open to the divine resonance of our elder versions of self that know what we three-dimensionally seek to know, and yet that we all-dimensionally already know by virtue of our oneness with the elder versions of who we are. I see you aligning, beloveds, with the elder version of yourself. I see you aligning, and I see all of us aligning with that great spirit of forgiveness, that we are of a forgiving heart unto ourselves and unto others, and that we are a magnet for the attracting of the spirit of forgiveness. And we see the all-dimensionality of forgiveness
We see the benevolence of every being in all existence, no matter what their three-dimensional behavior might be. For the lower frequency of three-dimensionalities, days are numbered. We are rising upon the wings of an Aquarian age, a golden age. And even now, in the midst of some of the three-dimensional turmoil that we're sometimes in, we can even now align with the greater exaltation of our ascension frequency, the greater exaltation of our love vibration, that we can rise above exaggerating the pain of our lives. And we can come into the wisdom of knowing that pain is an angel in distress, and that pain is always a surface thing. Hatred is a surface thing. Doubt and fear, surface. They can never be the center, because the center is the real estate of God Almighty. And so we go to the center of that pain and we find pure light. We go to the center of that despair and we find pure light. We go to the center of those vibrations of hatred and we find pure light. Let us live within the inner sanctum of our center, being fully present, for the now is the chalice container of the whole of eternity. With that, I'm going to offer some quantum wave wielding with my Ascension staffs. And as I offer the quantum wave wielding, I invite you to continue to invoke and decree and intend all of the glory that you want for your life. And to know that even when it seems that you don't have it, in truth, you do have it. It's right there with you. So align with me in the stirring of the quantum waves of infinite possibility. Thank you, Divine Creator, for this sacred moment of wielding the quantum waves, of recognizing that there are infinite waves of divine possibility for ourselves individually and for the collective. Our being knows no limit. We are God, Goddess within horizon of this moment. With eternity we blend. Every space is here. Every time is now. Every one is us. Full awakening of eternal remembrance, that in which we trust. Immortal hands, immortal body, immortal energy, immortal healing. We as God and Goddess create and do all that the Most High will ever create and do. We are safe at home in heaven's bed, not catching hell on earth instead. Many worlds did we create before our dawn in fleshly state. traveler through eternity. Timelessness, my legacy, our legacy, journey to an endless end. We're everywhere and every when. Nowhere did our lives begin. They shall never, never end. All times are now. All space is here, and there is no reason to fear. While every living moment owns all past, present, future zones, we are the universal whole with multi-selfhood as our goal. As the spirit of the one, creation is how we have fun. So from the great and central sun, legions of our spirit sprung to form and roam the galaxy, to learn from every part of me the lesson of the one in all, and pain of separations fall from high to lowest frequency. All I ever find is me. My mission lives in all dimensions, oneness being my prime intention. In all the mirrors of myself, I see true love and godly wealth. And once while traveling on the earth, I forgot my birthless birth. A bitter war I waged with me, forgot that I was whole and free once upon eternity. Never did I fight with me yet. Once upon a time and space, I lost my mind in human race. While catching hell on earth instead, I'm safe at home in heaven's bed. While catching hell on earth instead, I'm safe at home in heaven's bed. Safe at home in heaven's bed. So I thank you for co-creating with me. Thank you for milking the miracle out of this lunar eclipse full moon. One of the beautiful things that is available through this lunar eclipse full moon is it's receiving a very harmonious conversation from both Pluto and Uranus. Sitting right in between them, receiving what is called a sextile from both of them. So Uranus is feeding positively into this lunar eclipse, and Pluto is feeding positively. The Uranian frequency coming from Taurus is offering a vibration of, I'm going to be me, the whole me, and nothing but me in spite of what's expected of me. It's one of the shadow pieces of the Piscean energy, is living to please the expectations of all others and allowing others to take advantage of and misuse. So with the energy of Uranus fed harmoniously into this lunar eclipse full moon, there's the opportunity to stand in the authenticity and in the integrity to say, I'm going to be me, the whole me, and nothing but me in spite of what's expected of me. To live according to your own inner directive. And to experience an elevation of values. Uranus is in Taurus, which represents values and valuables. And so it's an opportunity to come into a greater alignment with values, formless, that creates valuables, form. And that the first stage of reality is the formless stage of reality, which is subjective actuality. Sometimes we will tend to say that objective actuality is only that which is real, that when something becomes manifest and concrete, that then it's real, that it's not real until it reaches that place of crystallization. And yet that's the second stage of reality. The first stage of reality is subjective actualization, where in the inner resonance of our consciousness, we are subjectively actualizing from the premise of the formless. For example, love is a great resonance of formless and actualization in formlessness. You cannot grab a handful of love, and yet that love is so powerful that it can play upon the activation of all things of the material realm, the physical body, building beautiful structures by virtue of the love in the heart. So gratitude, receive the energy of the Pluto vibration, which is in Capricorn, so that we're able to experience the alchemy, Pluto, of the things associated with our work and duty and responsibility, Capricorn. And we're able to experience the oneness of the wholeness of all of that by virtue of the Piscean energy. Because the highest resonance of Pisces is oneness of wholeness. Thank you, beloved Creator, for calling us home to our absoluteness of selfhood. Thank you, beloved Creator, for quickening within us the presence of mind and heart to recognize our co-creative hand, heart and mind, and all of the goodness of life. By virtue of the fact that we live as a cellular counterpart within every being, we are at one with every creative expression. We are at one with every good deed that is ever expressed. Let us feel the quickening of elevation in our self-esteem, in recognizing that we have a co-creative hand, heart, and mind in all of the goodness of life. All of the goodness of God, Goddess Almighty, every angel, ascended master, every cosmic being, every human, animal, hero, shero, elemental, star, and galaxy. Thank you for calling us home to our absoluteness. Thank you for showing us the way in which to free all of the distressed angels in the recognition that pain is an angel in distress, and fear is an angel in distress, and worry an angel in distress, and we can free the distressed angels. All is well. All is well. Gratitude to you, beloveds. And I'm so grateful I have the presence of mind and heart to show up. And as many of you are aware, I've been somewhat missing in action. It's been a while since I've actually uploaded anything or did a live. And so I'm so grateful to do this live on this really, really powerful day. And all of the music that you're hearing in the background are different selections from different albums that I've done. Speaking of albums, I got a wonderful new album called Incantation. It's going to hit all of the online stores in about a month, but it's available even now on my website. It's called Incantation. And I've done something that I had not done before. I mean, about 5 of them. It's 13 tracks, 70 minutes. And 5 of them are just phenomenally danceable. And this is a new thing for me. It's sort of tapping into the hip hop community And so I'm excited about that because I've done some creative expressions that are brand new for me. So you can go even now, Astarius.com, Astarius.com, and you can hear sound clips and you can get the album even before it hits all of the different platforms and the online stores. So I'm also available for intuitive astrological readings and sound healings with didgeridoo and vocal harmonics and Reiki. I would love to empower your expansion to a greater extent. I do that work remotely, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world. And if you're in my neighborhood, Central Florida, then you can come in person. But it doesn't matter where you are in the world because we can definitely do some work. I've got a couple of books available also on my website, and everything you've heard me reciting are in my book. The piece I recited a while ago, Song of Creation. I wrote that entire piece behind the wheel of a car and memorizing it, except I wrote down on a little piece of paper the first word of each line and the first letter of the last word of each line. And the entire piece was written while I was on the highway. It was an amazing experience, and when I finished, I just was sobbing in tears of gratitude. So the book is called Miraculii, Song of Ascension, and I thank you for going and checking all of that out, and I thank you for making some purchases. If it pleases your heart, if you're loving, though, what it is that I am presenting, then gratitude for you playing in the field of win-win and making some purchases. So take sweet care of yourself. Love on yourself. Every day, look at yourself in the mirror, put your arms around yourself, love on you, pinch yourself on all four cheeks, top and bottom. That's a sweet cheekaboo for you, from you. Aho, Ashe, Amen, Namaste, Hotep, In Lakesh, Alakin, Shalom, Satnam, Hariom, Rastafari. Our sacred juices are cooked in infinitely expanding Juicefari, Blissfari, gonna always have many miles on our smile and wiggle in our giggle, tingling in our boots, laughter ever after, putting our strut, wings on our butt, always rising up at the top. There's room for all. It's just the bottom that's crowded, y'all. Up at the top, we are at one with God and all, transcendent beyond the humanly small. And so it is, and so it shall eternally be. I set my own sacred ass on fire, and maybe yours too. Love you so much.